Yeah. By waiting, we extend the time and then.
No, you start off 7:31.
Yeah, I think you should start off.
Yes.
Yes. Meeting is call for the order. Good evening. I, Sucharita, welcome all Rotaractors, distinguished guests, eminent doctors, DGs, and PDGs to this virtual meeting on behalf of Rotary Club Hyderabad. Our club is happy to be part of this program to make difference in society. We are looking forward to host many such programs in future. I request Shanti, Rotarian Shanti, to say four-way test.
Good evening, everyone. The four-way test is a non-biased and non-involving ethical guide for Rotarians to use for their personal and professional relationships. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Shanti.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to give a little introduction about the program. You know, it happens. Of course, I'm not blaming any fathers, but my own father. In childhood, we think that my dad is strongest. And the same thing happened to me because father is the ideal man for the child. My father used to take tobacco pan with zarda and all these things. We thought it's a fantastic thing, and we started getting into that in our 15 to 17 years age. So that tobacco from 1970 to 1984, I was regularly taking tobacco, pipe. I was traveling abroad and then buying Havana cigars, and it has become a big fashion. I used to smoke, and those days R. Nageswara Rao used to leave rings. So this is something where it was a big fancy for people. Please mute your microphones, please. Now, so that is how I started taking it. In 1984, my children started growing. So I thought the same thing, mistake I did, my children should not do. So overnight, I stopped taking tobacco. But 30 years later, in 2016, I developed colon cancer. This colon cancer is definitely because of my tobacco chewing, because I was taking tobacco and then consuming all the tobacco juice, and it goes from my mouth right to my colon, and my colon got affected. I got colon cancer. I don't need to tell you what amount of suffering I had. I had a surgery. I was in ICU for about 15 days because I could not recover fast. And then chemotherapy is terrible, nausea and then pain and so much of terrible thing. And I spent 20 lakhs for my surgery, for my chemotherapy, and even today I have the chemotherapy effect. I get my hands numb and then feet numb sometimes because of chemotherapy. Added to this, my wife had ovarian cancer in 2005 and died in 2014. So my two children are abroad. I'm alone here with cancer survivorship. This is my plight. I'm telling all this so that the youngsters are very careful, and all my Rotarians also are careful, and my plight should not be experienced by any of you. That's the reason why we wanted to see that what harm tobacco causes to the human system, and especially the youth who are getting tempted to hookah, e-cigarettes and vaping, which are produced by the tobacco manufacturers only to tempt the youth and make them slaves to nicotine throughout their life. This is their ball game. Every parent should be very careful and watch, and every rotaractor should also protect themselves from tobacco. Thank you so much. I now request our DGE Prabhakar to please say how this momentum of no tobacco can be taken forward. Prabhakar sir.
Yeah, District Governor Hanumanth Reddy Garu, DGN, and past district governors, President of Pulse, and my other fellow Rotarians. Good evening to all of you. First of all, I want to congratulate Rotary Club of Hyderabad, Pulse, for organizing this excellent program, particularly Chaturvedi, to take initiative to stop this addiction of tobacco among youngsters. I'm thankful to him for making me to participate in this program. We all know the addiction to tobacco is one of the biggest challenges currently the society is facing. In spite of so many warnings from government or in different forms, the number of smokers are increasing day by day. It is very unfortunate to know the cigarette tobacco related cancers are estimated to be constituting 21.7% of all cancers concerned in India. That is coming to nearly 3.5 lakhs patients per annum. Their deaths are occurring. As per one survey conducted in the UK, during this pandemic, nearly 1 million smokers quit their habit because they want to protect themselves and their loved ones from this deadly COVID. It obviously means, but of course we have to see this. I mean, the government also, they have banned temporarily the sale of tobacco and all. Now it's very clearly the only scare can stop this focus. And there's the thing is, evidently, one way or other, the pandemic appears to have achieved what anti-smoking initiatives by government or health organizations worldwide have been trying to achieve for decades. In this scenario, one of the reports says it's creating awareness is the best thing to stop this smoking. And I feel we Rotarians are good in that job. As a part of our role, to play our role, this great initiative by Rotary Club of Hyderabad, Pulse, we will continue, and in our district 3150 by conducting a number of awareness camps, especially in the society, especially in the colleges. And moreover, another thing is by practically prohibit smoking is by banning smoking in our Rotary events. With these few words, we are all very eager to hear the expert speakers. And with these few words, I want once again congratulate Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pulse for this excellent program. Thank you.
I now request, thank you very much, Prabhakar Garu, for your wonderful message. I'm very confident during your regime also the stream will continue and we will see that this momentum is taken care of.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Thank you very much. I now request our DG, Shri Hanumanth Reddy Garu, to please give his message.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chaturvedi Garu. Greetings and good evening, convener Chaturvedi Garu, our PDG Ravi Vadlamani Garu, DGE K. Prabhakar Garu, Dr. K. Ravi Malhotra Garu, Dr. Ravi Kumar Garu, Dr. Sonu Goel Garu, DRR Sindhura, Post Club President Sucharita Garu and Ramakrishna Garu, Cantonment, and all Rotarians and Rotaractors. Youth and tobacco addiction is a very important subject. Statistics says smoking is one of the major cause of cancer and various lung-related diseases. Especially during the pandemic time, we realized the importance of our lungs maintaining oxygen levels. It is an elementary school subject that body needs oxygen. But we all know smoking only pumps in more carbon dioxide, and youth getting addicted to tobacco or smoking is a major problem. It is wonderful to have Dr. Malhotra Garu from ICMR CCEM, Dr. Ravi Kumar, a oncologist and our own Rotarian from Hyderabad Pearls, and Dr. Sonu Goyal, professor from PGIMER, Chandigarh, to speak on this important topic. Thanks to you for giving time and appreciate the great work by host clubs in organizing this event, and especially convener Chaturvedi Garu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your message will be taken care, and we will be requesting you to preside over the function like this. Every function we are going to do throughout the year. Thank you so much. Incidentally, I would like to convey to the youngsters here, we take carbon monoxide, which is released by the cars. When we smoke, this is what we do. Lead used in batteries, acetone used in nail polish, arsenic is a rat poison, ammonia used to clean household, formaldehyde, liquid used to store dead bodies, cadmium used in batteries, butane, the cigarette lighter fluid, coal tar used for topping the roads. This is what we are taking in the form of a cigarette. You want to take all that? Wonderful. Please go ahead. Now, according to me, Shri Dr. Ravi Vadlamani is Bhishmacharya of Rotary 3150. He has been a friend, philosopher, and guide to me. And other things are all known to our district. I don't need to tell more about it. I would now request him to give a message, say how we can take it further and see that District 3150 is made totally tobacco free. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Convener Vasudev. I really admire your continued interest in this very critical field, and you yourself are an ambassador or a brand ambassador on how to say no to tobacco, having come out of cancer and having been a victim of cancer yourself. And your story itself is a great lesson to all the students and the Rotaractors who are participating in this seminar. I must compliment you for your enthusiasm and your energy, and of course your innovative programs. Having said that, I would also like to congratulate the host club president, Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls, Sucharita, and the Rotary Club of Signabad Cantonment. And I would also like to greet District Governor Hanumanth Reddy, District Governor-elect Prabhakar, and senior Rotarians, and of course all the members of the faculty and academicians. I have never smoked a cigarette in my life, though I come from the heart belt of tobacco growing area, and incidentally Guntur is the hotbed of exports of entire tobacco from this country, which really means wherever tobacco is grown in India, it is brought by the merchants from Guntur, and it is queued, it is packed and exported from Guntur. So in a way, tobacco is my bread, butter and jam, because most of my clients are tobacco entrepreneurs. But I do know from the facts and figures that tobacco growth is coming down. Tobacco usage as cigarettes is coming down. I have grown, and when I was in the college, smoking cigarettes was a fashion. I have not seen many youth today smoking cigarettes. Of course, the interventions by the government saying that cigarette smoking is injurious to health, and slowly over the last decade, the simple statement of cigarette smoking is injurious to health has turned into, pictorial depictions on a cigarette box, and the much needed media publicity that is given at the beginning and at the interval time of every movie. And most of these film stars, cricket stars are educating on non-smoking. Especially there is no smoking now in restaurants, bars, airports, fact, some of you must remember that in those days, flying in an aircraft was very difficult because there were smoking areas also in the aircraft itself. Thankfully now, even if it is a long distance journey of transcontinental journeys, there is smoking is not allowed in the aircraft. So the government has come out very strongly on smoking, and especially smoking in public areas. And you all know that if you have to smoke in an airport or a five-star hotel, you have to go to designated areas. Even if you want to take a room, you have to ask for a smoking room. There are a lot of punitive and coercive methods that have been employed by the government for prohibiting smoking. But in spite of that, the number of sticks that are sold in this country are going up. So it's a very interesting phenomenon. While you don't find smoking in the bazaars, while you don't find smoking in the public areas, while you cannot get access to cigarettes or boxes of cigarettes very easily, while there is no smoking even in a train compartment, while cigarettes are not sold in the railway stations, yet the number of sticks that are sold by the companies are going up. ITC, which is a monopoly company of cigarette manufacturing, the profits budget every year. And this is not because of their hotel division. It is not because of their food division. It is not because of their agro division, but it is because of their cigarette division. So what is this strange phenomenon? Why is the sticks increasing? Is an interesting study, and I did study some time back, and I understood the reason is that the bidi smokers are shifting to cigarettes. That is one reason, and of course, thankfully, most of the youth don't smoke bidis, and bidis are still considered taboo in the college and other areas. They are not considered fashion. The other reason is the women are perhaps shifting to smoking cigarettes. And this is an alarming feature for us to understand. So what should Rotary do under these circumstances? Rotary, as we all know, has learned several important lessons in our fight against polio. One of the major lessons we learned in our fight against polio is social mobilization, creating social awareness, conducting rallies, putting up posters, hiring celebrities to say and talk about polio. So we are, in a way, become experts and specialists in creating social mobilization. The brand Rotary itself will give in the civil society and in the civic society a good image. So Rotarians must take this Say No to Tobacco as an activity, and clubs must conduct rallies, must create awareness camps, must enlarge our programs in saying no to tobacco. Interestingly, District 3150 has banned tobacco smoking and selling of tobacco products in all its events from 2001, much before the government prohibited it in the public. Because 2001, in my district conference, we made a resolution saying that in the conferences and in any event of Rotary, smoking is strictly prohibited. In those days, the government was still allowing smoking in public areas. So Rotarians are highly concerned, but friends, the time is now and ripe for us to take a concerted activity to put a final death knell in saying no to tobacco. To me, two important features are educate and eradicate. So my request to Rotarians who are present here to take it forward and to enlarge the activities and give more enthusiasm into these programs, especially District Governor Hanuman Prabhakar, encourage colleges, rotractors, interactors to say no to tobacco, put up poster contests, and ensure that there are some debating competitions, essay competitions, and more importantly, spread the message that you do not get any kind of pleasure out of smoking cigarette. The only thing you get out of smoking a cigarette is cancer, And if you want to prevent cancer, please do not smoke cigarette or use any kind of tobacco products. Any kind of tobacco product will not give you any kind of personal improvement or any kind of virality or any kind of enthusiasm, but the nicotine is only harmful to your body. I leave it to the academicians and the faculty to tell us the details, but Rotary, I think, has got a significant role in enlarging this program and educating. Once again, my brother Vasudev, I congratulate you for this, and of course I compliment and congratulate Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls and Secunderabad Cantonment for taking up this lovely program. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for a very inspiring talk and also for guidance given for us to proceed further. Thank you so much. I'd like to read a small excerpt from Lancet report. More than 1/3 adults, 35% use in India, tobacco in India, or 274.9 million, and 163.7 million use only smokeless tobacco. 68.9 million are only smokers, and 42.3 million users of both smoking and smokeless tobacco. 14.1% children in the age group of 13 to 15 years are consuming tobacco in India in some form or the other, like bidis, along with smokeless tobacco, account to 81% of the Indian tobacco market. I'm very much worried about the future generation and request them to refrain from using tobacco or tobacco products. I now request our DRCC Shri Ravindra to administer oath, that is pledge, to the Rotaractors. Incidentally, this program is going live on Twitter, Facebook, and also YouTube. So the oath will be taken by several throughout the world. Mr. Ravindra. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Rotarian Chaturvedi, for giving me this opportunity. So, friends, Rotaractors, then I and Chiptano, Taravata, everybody, youngsters, Rotaractors, whoever is there. So, I just tell I, then you say your name and raise your right hand like this. Raise your right hand. Then I say I, then you say name, then I will admit the oath. Finally, you say I do. Okay? I'm going again. I. Yeah, names. Rotaractor FRA District 3150 do take this oath in the name of God not to smoke or use any tobacco products now and forever. In addition, I will always try to stay away from second-hand smoke, which is danger to my health. I will do my best to encourage people to quit smoking and using tobacco products, and will do my best to support them as they try to quit. We will keep a watch on sale of tobacco products near our colleges and other educational institutions and report to other authorities if we see violation. Say, I do.
I do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ravindra, for
Thank you,
administering the oath. It is something fantastic as a procedure. Now we'll come to the speakers. I know the speakers are from different places like the United States, Chandigarh, and also Hyderabad. I would now request Sindhura, our District Rotaract representative, to introduce Dr. Ravi Kumar, medical oncologist of Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls. Please.
Thank you, Rotarian Chaturvedi, sir. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce one of the eminent speaker of the day, Dr. Ravi Kumar. Dr. Ravi Kumar is a consultant in hematology and oncology in Global Hospital, Virinchi Hospital, American Oncology Institute, Hyderabad. He has pursued MBBS from Hyderabad, DNB and FCCP from Delhi, medical oncology from TMH, Mumbai, ECMO from Paris. His research work and publication include 11 international and national publications in journals. One of his many achievements are performing the first stem cell transplant in Andhra Pradesh. His hobbies include photography and filmmaking, art and painting. playing hockey, playing tabla and music composition. His social interests lie in the anti-tobacco campaign and medical camps and medical care adoption of school children. And he is also a Rotarian of Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you so much for giving
Thank you, Sindhura. Dr. Ravi Kumar is going to tell us on cancers caused by tobacco and how to prevent. Over to Dr. Ravi Kumar.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, also you.
So good evening, everybody. Today's topic is tobacco, and I'll tell you some things about tobacco, and I'm sure people who have been using this will definitely leave it by the time I end my talk. Tobacco, as you know, is the only legal lethal agent in the world. Why are we talking about tobacco today? For one important thing, that tobacco kills. And that is endorsed by tobacco companies themselves. In the year 2000, we lost 4.9 million people to tobacco, and it is expected that by the year 2030, we will be losing 10 million people to diseases caused by tobacco. Another thing why we are talking about tobacco is that all this can be prevented, and tobacco consumption continues to be the leading preventable cause of death in the world. Now, we should know our enemy very well before we can fight it. So what is tobacco? Tobacco is just a dried leaf of that plant. It comes in two manners, that is smoking tobacco and a smokeless tobacco. Now, what is smoking tobacco? It comes in so many shapes and sizes, and these are all the weapons for different kinds. First is the cigarettes, the bidis, the pipes, the cigars, the shisha or the hookahs, and the electronic cigarettes. Smokeless tobacco comes in the form of zarda, snuff, and chewing tobacco, pan masala, and gutka. These are all the killers that we have today in our midst. And these are killers of a different kind. They are very potent. In fact, they are the real weapons of mass destruction. So what is the technique by which tobacco is taking hold of us? The first technique is active smoking. What we mean by active smoking is that the person himself is drawing the smoke in his body through his lungs. He is also harming others, and the person who harms others is doing that by passive smoking. Here you can see on the right side, there's a lady smoking, and there are two men who are passively smoking with her. If you see this child innocently is smoking passively along with the father. There are other forms as well, which are the zarda, which we use in pan, the snuff, the pan masala, and the gutka, which are equally or sometimes probably more dangerous. So what does it contain? What is your enemy's strength? As just now it was illustrated by Dr. Chaturvedi, I won't go into the details. You can see on the screen so many household poisons that we avoid every day are already there in that small cigarette. And this is endorsed by cigarette companies themselves, who have put it on their cartons. Smoke contains benzene, nitrosamines, formaldehyde, and hydrogen cyanide. I'm sure people would know what cyanide means. Now, what about passive smoking? Passive smoking is as dangerous. In passive smoking, you are not only inhaling somebody else's breath, but also inhaling the cigarette smoke that is coming nascent from the cigarette that he's holding. And this is also endorsed by cigarette companies that it definitely harms you and around people. Now, what is the modus operandi of this tobacco? How does it actually kill? Tobacco kills very slowly. And then you may argue with me, if it kills slowly, then who is in a hurry to die? I should also tell you at this time that it kills painfully. And it's a slow and painful death. It's a slow and painful death, which is nothing but death by torture. And smokers, that is why, die younger. Now, what are the diseases through which tobacco actually kills? Now, there are benign diseases and there are malignant diseases. In benign diseases, you can have fertility and pregnancy disorders, precancerous conditions, as well as the main cancer part. Now, what are the benign diseases? The first one that it hurts is the lung, the obstructive lung disease. Then it hurts the heart attacks. Then it can hurt your brain, causing strokes. Then it can hurt your vessels, which supply blood to the limbs and can cause blockages and gangrenes. Again, I can show you a picture of a cigarette company which can endorse this on their own packs. Other benign diseases are peptic ulcer, very commonly seen with smokers. Then you have all these dental problems. Then you have blindness. A person can go blind suddenly with macular degeneration. Then you also have premature aging. Very early aging occurs in smokers. I'll show you an example. This is a collage picture of two identical twins. One on the left doesn't smoke, one on the right smokes. You can see the difference of aging, which you can see on the skin. And this is again endorsed by cigarette companies that it definitely causes aging of the skin. Now, what is the modus operandi in fertility and pregnancy disorders? It hurts both males and females. The first thing is that it can damage the sperm and cause male infertility. At the same time, it can clog the arteries which are supplying blood to the reproductive organs and cause male impotence. And this is also, again, endorsed by so many companies which produce cigarettes. What about the females? The females also can have infertility, or they can have abortions. They can have premature deliveries of their babies who are born sick. Then a lady who smokes during pregnancy can actually harm her baby in the womb, and they can be born with congenital defects, which you see in the newborn, or these newborns or infants born to such mothers who smoke can have this sudden infant death syndromes. What about cancers? Let me just digress a little and tell you what exactly is cancer and pre-cancer. Now you see on the picture here that there is a normal cell. It follows all the laws of the body. It can follow protocols. It divides by regulation. Now, on the other hand, you see this cancer cell. It doesn't have any regulation. It's a rogue cell. It doesn't follow any laws of the body. And it keeps on producing cells, which in turn again keep on producing cells, causing masses and causing tumors in the body. Now, these tumors do not form suddenly. There is a process which takes you from the normal to the cancer. And this process is also preceded by a small time which is called pre-cancer. This whole process is called carcinogenesis. Now, there are several people who say that the other fellow is smoking, he didn't get cancer, but I get cancer. So what is the difference? This difference is that because there is a multi-step process and there are a lot of host factors involved, everybody who smokes doesn't get cancer at the same time, but eventually everybody will. So this cancer, which is formed by the tobacco, is not a one-step process. It follows a different way. Now, the formation of carcinogens occur, and this carcinogens can produce DNA damage, or they can produce mutations, or sometimes both. And this in turn causes cancer. And there are a lot of host factors along with this. Before we go to cancer, I'll show you a few precancerous conditions that we see in tobacco users. Now, this is called a submucous fibrosis, where the mouth doesn't open, and over a period of time, the mouth will close completely and the patient will not be able to eat. Then there's some condition called leukoplakia, where there are white patches which eventually convert themselves later on into cancer. There's another condition where there is a redness of patch in the oral cavity, which can convert into cancer. Then coming to cancers proper, there are about 16 cancers which can be caused by tobacco in the body from head to toe, as you see. I'll just walk you through fast through these. This is the cancer of the nasal cavity. This is the cancer of the lip. Then smokers can get cancers of the oral cavity, cancer of the tongue. They can get advanced cancers which sometimes don't respond to any treatment. Both males and females can suffer when there is a tobacco use. Then there is a cancer of the voice box, the larynx. They can get lung cancers. These are the most common lung cancers that you see in tobacco users and smokers. Then cancer of the food pipe, the esophagus. These are the endoscopic views. When the endoscope is put inside, you can go and see these tumors. Cancer of the stomach, then cancer of the pancreas and liver. All these cancers are potentially, they can be caused by tobacco. Pancreatic cancers is very debilitating and people die very soon. Large intestine, this is another place where tobacco hurts and causes cancer. Kidney cancer. Then you have cancer of the ureter, the pipe that carries urine from the kidney down. Cancer of the urinary bladder itself, which stores the urine. Then cancer of the uterine cervix in females. In women, this is a very common cancer, as well as cancer of the ovary, which you see in women. Lastly, the cancer which causes itself in the blood, which is called acute myeloid leukemia. These are all the cancers, and I just want to remind you that smoking kills like this. Now, what is the life with tobacco? Many people have notions that tobacco users have splendid lives, they enjoy their lives. And this is all the filmy, fake lifestyle that we see. The lifestyle that we see in the films, the lifestyle that we see in the magazines and all that with tobacco and smokers, this is all a filmy, fake lifestyle. Now, let us put a curtain on this fake lifestyle and see the actual lifestyle of people who are users of tobacco and who smoke. Now, this is a gentleman who is waiting for his radiation to start for lung cancer. If you look into his eye, you can see the pain and the anguish that a cancer patient will have. This is a gentleman who is now dependent on his spouse to continue living on a day-to-day basis. This is a gentleman who has smoked and used tobacco. Now he smokes through his mouth, but he can take his breath only through that pipe in his neck, and he can eat only through that pipe which is through his nose. This is the lifestyle that people will have with tobacco use. Ultimately, the patients get moribund, they get cachexia, they get bedridden, and the end is in pain. So this is the real actual lifestyle with tobacco. So how do people pay for their tobacco habit? Everybody says, okay, we pay with money. Of course, you are burning money when you are burning a cigarette. But actually what I feel is that they are paying with their life. What exactly is happening is that they are paying with their life for that tobacco habit. Now, what can we do about it? That is a big question. Stop the smoker from smoking, create a smoke-free environment, promote legislation against tobacco, educate children and youth against tobacco, and counsel and pledge the youth against tobacco. These are the main things that we can do. But how to stop smoking? This is the biggest question that everybody faces now. How to stop? The first and the foremost and the best is self-determination. Don't say I can't do it, cut off that T and say I can do it. That is the self-determination that a smoker or a tobacco user needs to stop smoking or use of tobacco. Now, the next thing that you have to do is, if you are not getting through with your self-determination, ask for help, go to a doctor. There are several ways where you can get off the habit with several means. And always keep on rewarding yourself whenever you are able to quit or you are on the way to quit. What are the benefits of stopping smoking? People say, I have been smoking for 10 years, 15 years. Now there is no use of stopping. No, there is a benefit even if you have smoked for a long time. There is a benefit which comes even after you have smoked for 15 years. The moment you stop, within a few hours, the repair and the healing process of the body starts, and that healing continues over the next few years. So what can we do to stop smoking? Firstly, you should have smoke-free schools and educational institutions. You should have smoke-free, tobacco-free campuses in universities and places of education. You should have tobacco-free facilities to work. Then you should have a complete tobacco-free living environment, home environment, and a tobacco-free locality where you live. So what can the government do in this process? The government can produce legislations. But as we all know, Legislations have no use until they are enforced. So the enforcement has to be the main thing from the government. Making laws is just not enough. So prohibition of smoking in public places, display of written and pictorial warnings on tobacco products, ban on advertisement of tobacco products, ban on tobacco product sale near educational institutions and to minors, and also banning showing of elaborate, flamboyant scenes of smoking in films. So tobacco continues to be the leading preventable cause. I told you in the start. So where do we now keep the youth from, starting tobacco use? 90% of smokers start by the age of 18. So that is a very vulnerable age for starting smoking. So what do? We see that they do not start. That is where they need to be educated so that they do not start. Most of them start the habit in an adolescent age. So, but why do they start? Let us first understand why do they start smoking at that young age? The first thing is that it is a curiosity. The curiosity kills them. What happens is that they first experiment, then they get into social habit of smoking, and then they get addicted and hooked onto it, and it becomes a compulsive thing and endorsed by so many cigarette companies that it is addictive. Don't start. It is very simple. The another reason why they do it is they do a copycat behavior. Somebody in the family, the parent or somebody in the family or an elder or an uncle or a grandfather will be smoking in the house, and the youth feel it is fine. Or a professor or a teacher might be smoking, or a cartoon film which children see has an elaborate way of showing that the hero of the film is actually smoking a pipe. So this makes them think that it is all right to smoke. Then so many people else at the same age group, their friends are smoking. They copycat, or otherwise they have some peer pressure. Somebody says, if you smoke, you have to be my friend, otherwise you are not. This is a peer pressure. These are all the copycat behaviors that we see. Other thing is idolization. People idolize either the film stars or their celebrities, or there's some businessmen who have excelled in their jobs, or even sportsmen. They idolize them. So if they smoke, they think it's all right to smoke, and then they start. Another reason is that it's easily available and it is attractive. We have all nukkad and corners. We have this friendly neighborhood panwalas and some attractive stalls here and there which sell tobacco and cigarettes. So this is a very easy available. How to keep them away? First, educate and then give advice. So how do we do this? We have been doing from the Rotary several educational meetings with so many educational institutions, particularly degree colleges, and also the other educational institutes targeting at this age group. We have done several such programs. And we have also instituted a lot of posters which we have been keeping in educational institutes from the Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls, which we have done long back. And apart from this education and advice, we have to counsel and make a pledge. These are school children from where I studied, Little Flower High School in Hyderabad, where I have been going every year to give those children a pledge against tobacco and educating them in their assemblies, in their schools, about the ill effects of tobacco. And this is the pledge that I give them at the end of my talk, that I will not smoke, I will keep myself away from secondhand smoke, I will do my best to encourage smokers and tobacco users to quit, I will do my best to support them in their efforts to quit. Say no to tobacco and say yes to life. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi Kumar. I think you have covered the entire gamut of how people can really get into it. I very fondly say, cancer cures smoking. This is what I always tell people whenever I go for a talk. And you have also emphasized on one point that children, when my grandfather had 14 children, my father had 7. I didn't want my third child. But today, what is happening? There are so many fertility centers, and then people are clogging around. Every lane there is a fertility center because people are becoming impotent and infertile. My request is youngsters should become omnipotent, not impotent. Now, I'm very happy to say that this program is going live on Facebook, Twitter, and also YouTube. I would request now our DRCC Ravindra to please introduce Dr. Ravi Mehrotra. Thank you very much, sir, for having logged in from the US. You have a lot of love for me and affection that shows. Thank you very much. Kind of you. Ravindra, please.
Hello, friends. It's my honor to introduce Professor Ravi Malhotra, the CEO of the Indian Cancer Research Consortium called ICMR, and a member of the Scientific Council, WHO IARC. Earlier, he led the ICMR National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research, as well as the WHO FCTC Global Hub on Smokeless Tobacco at Noida. He is interested in the prevention of cancer, tobacco control and implementation science. In addition, he is an adjunct professor of epidemiology at the Rowley's Institute of Public Health, Emory University, Atlanta. He is an impactful researcher with more than 250 peer-reviewed publications, including The Lancet, BMJ, and Nature. Numerous books, chapters, and technical reports. He sits on the editorial board of 8 medical journals and was the principal investigator of over 10 national and international research grants with major funding. He is the winner of many prestigious awards, including the prestigious Dr. P.N. Wahi and Dr. Lakshman Awards in Cancer Prevention, as well as the Ernest Hernandez Award from the Indian Academy of Cytologists, in addition to being its past president. Now I present Professor Ravi Malhotra.
Thank you so much, sir, for the very kind introduction, and Dr. Chaturvedi for inviting me. I would bring you greetings from the Indian Council of Medical Research. And I would like to talk to you something that is very close to our heart, of course. Basically, when we look at youth, and that is where I think earlier speakers have also mentioned, it is probably the most important area that we would be focusing on as far as today is concerned. And most people do get addicted to cancer when they are less than 20 or 25 years of age. Is my PowerPoint available, is visible to you? Hello?
No, sir. No, sir. You are audible, but your presentation.
Just give me 1 second and I'll see you how I can. I've pressed screen share.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Got it, sir.
Good. Yeah. How about now?
Anil, please help sharing the.
Can you see something now?
Sir, now it is shared.
Okay, good. So basically,
but I can't see the image.
You cannot see the image. Okay.
Sir, you have to download the thing and you have to share, sir.
No. He's an expert on that.
Right. I have downloaded basically Zoom. I'm already there and I have it on my desktop.
Share screen.
Exactly. Give me 1 second. I'll sort it out.
Anil, can you please help us?
Okay, this maybe this is better.
Yeah, now it is opening up.
Excellent.
Sir, you are, yes.
Technology, when it works very well. Sometimes it just takes a.
I know.
Great.
Please
Basically, what I wanted to talk today, and I know there are many people before me and after me, so I'll be relatively brief. As I mentioned already, and the speaker who introducing me went to great lengths. I represent the Indian Council of Medical Research, and I head the India Cancer Research Consortium. And one of the most preventable causes of cancer is tobacco. So rather than trying to repeat what other people have told you, I'll just talk about very few things which are practical. And as far as the youngsters are concerned, why, when we were
Sir,
that
call me.
they never really wanted to listen to anybody else because we thought we knew the best. And that is usually the way youth is all about. So I'll talk, instead of trying to tell you facts and figures, I'll just talk about a few specific issues, which I'm sure people know about, but it's just a question of reminding them. So as was talked earlier, tobacco use in the youth is actually a pediatric epidemic. Pediatric is a young age, that is less than, some people say less than 12, some people less than 15. And as I'd already mentioned, majority of smokers or tobacco users actually start by the age of 18. And one of the speakers was talking about how especially in the semi-urban or even rural areas, the grandfather or uncle or father sends the little kid to the pawn shop to go and get some tobacco in either smoking or a non-smoking variety. Once he goes, twice he goes, third time, he says, oh, this must be something good. And he or she decides to take a little bit on the way, seeing that, knowing very well that the parent or the uncle or granddad may not know about it. And that is how quite often they get hooked. So roughly about 15% of all youth between the age of 13 to 15 do take tobacco. It's rather unfortunate. I would wish and pray it becomes much less. And it is obviously higher in boys, about 20% of boys and 8% of girls would be using some form of tobacco. And about roughly 5% would be smoking cigarettes. And secondhand smoking, we already talked about. Nearly 36% of the youth between the age of 13 to 15 are exposed to secondhand smoking. And this could be in a public place or it could be at home itself. So what are the determinants? Obviously, we find it socially acceptable. In India, although there are a lot of publicity and a lot of advertisements about smoking, but the reality is that hardly 20 to 30% of tobacco use is smoked. That is either in the form of cigarettes or bidis. Nearly 70% is actually chewed or taken through the nose, which is basically called smokeless tobacco or non-combustible tobacco. And that is a norm not only in the rural areas, but also in the cities and in the semi-urban areas. So it is culturally acceptable. Quite often when tobacco is consumed with pan or betel, it is socially acceptable as well. It has been going on for years altogether to have supari or areca nut along with tobacco. Of course, you can have a pan without tobacco also, but that is, it all depends on the individual. So there has been a lot of studies, lot of papers, and lot of research has gone into how the movies affect tobacco use. So as I already mentioned, whether it is one of the film stars or cricketers or whichever celebrity, they obviously have a role to play. Now, cigarette smoking and other tobacco advertisements is totally banned in this country. However, what we do have is surrogate smoke tobacco advertising. For example, somebody would be giving example or advertising a specific kind of a pan masala. Now, pan masala in the same kind of packing, the same kind of shop would be available with and without tobacco. And that is where the catch is. Obviously, we're talking about ineffective implementation, but to be absolutely clear, making it really easy, implementing it actually is, especially in COVID times, I would like to compare it to people not using a mask. You can have 100 rules that you'll be fine, you'll be this, you'll be that. But at the end of the day, it is up to you because it is your life, it is your disease that you have to save. So I think at the end of the day, you have to do it yourself. And this is where we as adults, parents, guardians, seniors have a role to play in making the child or the youngster a aware that this is once you are hooked onto tobacco, it is very difficult to leave. Tobacco is among the most addictive substances in the world, much more addictive than alcohol, much more addictive than a few of the softer drugs as well. Right now, there's so much talk in the country about drugs, which I will not go into, but tobacco is something, once you get onto it, Dr. Chaturvedi has mentioned he left, but many people find it extremely difficult. And cessation is not very good in our country. I can talk about that maybe at some later point. And also mention tobacco industry basically promotes this behavior of usage. It is the only industry in the world which practically kills or maims half of their consumers in their lifetime. No other industry does it. Once you are killing half your consumers, you have to make sure there is a fresh crop of people who are going to be your next target. And that is why, like, we are a cricket loving nation, and we always say that catch them young. That is exactly what the tobacco industry does. They catch them young, and they are vulnerable, they are gullible, and they are open to all sorts of pressures. So there is in tobacco research, there's a short form called TAPS, which is tobacco advertising and promotion and marketing. It obviously has a very important.
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
I've got some musical accompaniment.
Friends, please mute your microphone, please.
Thank you.
Dr. Ravi is talking from the United States. Let us respect his talk, please.
Yeah, actually, come back to India now. Thank you so much. But yes, I was there earlier. So what are the problems that you face with tobacco? The kids start doing poorly in school. They have a low self-esteem, low socioeconomic status, low education. Everything becomes problematic. And it is very difficult to say no. And as I think Dr. Ravi mentioned, it is not easy to, it's easy to succumb to peer pressure, to look cool, to impress the opposite sex, whether it is boys or girls, that's a different story. And as parents, there's lack of involvement, lack of support. And the youth also are more sensitive, especially as young you are 10 or 12 or 13, when quite a few of the kids start, you are far more sensitive to it. Then, of course, we also have teenage pregnancies and younger people getting pregnant. I don't think I need to go into saying that the child, if you are smoking or taking tobacco, the child is also likely to take tobacco when they grow up. So genetic factors also make quitting. So basically the story is, if you can denormalize the use of tobacco, it's not easy. It's not something that is comes naturally, but I think it is happening. So very quickly, before I finish talking about laws and regulations, there is something known as the FCTC, which is the Framework Control for Tobacco Control, Framework Convention for Tobacco Control, which is the only UN treaty which is signatory by more than 190 countries, in which there is sales to and by minors. The Indian counterpart is the COTPA, which is the Cigarettes and Other Tobacco Products Act, which came up in 2003. It really needs to be done again and updated, which is going to be hopefully soon. So now coming to the last part, and I think the most important part is, first of all, when we talk to the youth, when we talk about, don't have to preach down to them. When you are all of 15 or 20 years of age, you think you know everything. And the youngsters hate to be, especially nowadays with so much of internet and social media and awareness, it is a good idea to actually show them in a fun way, something that they can relate to. So the use of cartoons, the use of posters, the use of youth icons is probably the best. In my schools and various colleges that I talk about, I usually make one of the youngsters themselves, or maybe more than one youngsters, do a play, do a nukkar natak, so that they feel involved. And when they themselves are emoting those lines, it's easier for them to relate to it. So we talked about denormalizing tobacco in the general population. WHO and other intelligent and hardworking and effective organizations that talk about increasing the tobacco. The cigarette prices have gone up a fair bit, but unfortunately smokeless tobacco, which I mentioned is 70% of the problem, is still very low. The base price is so low that every budget it goes up, but the price is so elastic, so nearly everybody can either afford it, routinely, or they beg, borrow, and steal. So we really need to hike up the prices and have a similar taxation for BDs, smokeless tobacco, and cigarettes, rather than having a differential that in which BDs and smokeless are actually taxed very low, even today. Smoke-free policies we already talked about. Of course, implementation has to be done by the individual themselves. I remember in train bogies, air-conditioned or otherwise also, earlier it was allowed, so people used to consume tobacco. But now you find that your fellow passengers may get after you because there is a law, and they implement. And once you are named and shamed, the chances are that you will actually leave, or at least for that moment. So tobacco advertising ban, of course, is there, has to be implemented. The surrogate advertising, and the film stars who actually advertise, and we have been writing to them, talking to them, but they don't seem to be listening. The best thing would be a boycott by the public themselves. If so-and-so is acting, and need not go into the names of the film stars, if so-and-so is acting, we will not see their movies. I mean, that will be the best way to teach them a lesson. So all education initiatives in schools have to have a certain signage, and also people have to follow the signage. Social media, and we are right now using the computer now for nearly everything in our life in the COVID times. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, so on and so forth are actually, and I understand this particular talk is also being streamed live on Facebook and Twitter. So I think that's really an excellent way of doing it. And more usage, that's probably the way the future. So we have the strength, the youngsters have the power to say no, and we have to make sure that this picture on your right is not repeated. And it is also, we don't have to go in the next generation to see this kind of a story. Before I leave, Dr. Chaturvedi mentioned about the electronic cigarettes or ENDS. We at ICMR were fortunate to come up with a white paper, which was released on the World No Tobacco Day in April 19, which resulted in total ban on e-cigarettes in this country. Although I understand some are still available surreptitiously in the black market, but majority of the e-cigarettes are no longer freely available. At one time, till a few months ago, even in Air India and the duty-free shops, you could actually get e-cigarettes. So this is one thing which, and the main reason which the government banned it was the youth was getting attracted to it. I remember a story where somebody's school bag was checked, a young child of hardly about 11 years of age, and they found 2 e-cigarettes there in the school bag. And 4 or 5 students had got together, pooled in the money, and they had bought e-cigarettes. So this was something acting as a gateway to harder stuff like actual cigarettes or smokeless tobacco. So at least so far, we are very lucky in this country to have strong advocates against the use of tobacco. And hopefully, just like in the US or in other developed economies, the number of people who are using tobacco has gone down. It is my wish and my prayer that all of us being strong advocates, at least by another 2025, another 5 years time, should make sure that whoever is already addicted is very difficult to leave. But if we can make sure that the younger generation does not take it up, it will be a real boon for not only the country's economy, but also the health. People keep talking that, so much money is made by the government in taxes through tobacco. But reality is the amount of money that is spent on treating illnesses. It is not only cancer, but it is also lung disease, it is asthma, it is tuberculosis, so diseases combined. The amount of money that they spend by the government is much more. So with that note, because after all, it is always up the pocket which counts the maximum, especially in these COVID times, as people are using masks. And in COVID, some percentage of people have actually decided to leave, not only smoking, but also smokeless. Let us make this a habit, and let us make sure that we don't go back to our good old or the bad old ways as we go further. I really thank you for your patient listening, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi, for all your time you have spared. It's our fortune that we could listen to you today. My fortune, my Rotarians, Rotaractors' fortune, because the time you have, I know, it is for the cause, and also my request. You are honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Sir, kind of you. Audience may please post their questions in the chat box. We will take questions and then see that the questions are answered. Please go ahead. And now we are almost coming to an end. Don't lose your patience. I'm very happy to say, to thank our Mr. Anil from Secunderabad West, who had facilitated our online. Besides, Rotaractor Vinila, President Rotaractor Club of KGRCET, for supporting the Zoom. I'll fail in my duty if I don't thank them, because but for them things could not have happened. I would now request our Rotarian Mohan Nistala. I have great regard for him. He's from Rotary Club of Cantonment, Secunderabad. Incidentally, he is the district chair, regional chair for cancer awareness and prevention, whereas I am the district chair for cancer awareness and prevention. Over to Mohan Garu to please introduce Dr. Sonu Goyal, who is going to speak on legislation against tobacco and how Rotary youth can monitor proper implementation. Please.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. At the outset, on behalf of Rotary Club of Cantonment Secunderabad, I must thank Dr. Chaturvedi, the district chair, for making us a part of this wonderful project. Friends, these are COVID times, so we need to have a mask whenever we talk. But this occasion, there's a virtual mask, because I had and still have a weakness for the word Sonu. So whenever the word Sonu comes, I Google it up. You will be surprised to see Dr. Sonu Goyal biodata on the Google runs to 11 pages. And it was a Herculean task to bring it down. Nevertheless, it's a pleasure. Dr. Sonu Goyal, MBBS, MD in Community Medicine from Indira Gandhi Medical College at Simla. He went on to do his PhD in Health System Research from University of Maastricht, Netherlands. His primary areas of interest are public health, health management, health system strengthening, and above all, the topic that is so dear to us, tobacco control. His area of specialization is public health management. He is currently working as a professor in School of Public Health at PGI MER at Chandigarh. He is a vice chair of Tobacco Control, the union. He has a host of research projects. Oh my God. He has, in his own words, over 40 research projects sponsored either by WHO, ICMR, DST, National Rural Health Mission, Departments of Health and Family Welfare, Ford Foundation, International Union Against TB and Lung Diseases. He was very modest in curtailing it. It runs to a magnum opus. He has written books, 9 of them. Of them being the bestseller is the Hospital Administration. He has attended over 55 national and international workshops and conferences. When it comes to awards, huge galore. The most salient is the Young Researcher Award from 2006 to 2014, except 2007 and 8 at PGIMER Chandigarh. Friends, he had an award every year from 2006 to 2020. And if his record in Google says anything correct, I must ask him why in 2007 he didn't get an award. He is a member of professional bodies like Indian Association of Preventive Health and Social Medicine, Indian Public Health Association, Population and Health, Indian Red Cross, Indian Clinical Epidemiology Network, International Epidemiological Network Association, International Union Against TB and Lung Disease, Indian Society of Medical Statistics, International Medical Sciences Academy, and it goes on. He has been a resource person or a chair or a speaker at international and state level forums, and he has delivered over more than 50 lectures. I think we are indeed blessed to have such a young, when I say young compared to all of us here, but enlightened person. Over to Dr. Sonu. Sonu Goyal.
Dr. Sonu Goyal, please. Hello? Oh. Please wait for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Sonu Goyal on? Log in, please. Okay. Seems to be offline. Let us take it easy. And then let us take some questions. Can we take some questions, please? Those who would like to ask questions can unmute and please ask the questions.
Chatur, before the questions, I just want to tell you that our club is almost a no smokers club.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there was a time when we had one smoker and we used to all detest. To the club's fortune or to his misfortune, he left the club. And ever since then, we are almost a no smokers club.
Okay. Any questions coming in?
Sir, this is Rotan Venugopal, sir, Rotary Club of Guntur President, sir.
Fantastic.
Sir, what is the exact decisions to take to stop complete smoking across India? Because there are other countries already taken very severe decisions on this. So I want to know about this, sir. How to stop smoking across the nation? That is a straight question, sir.
Dr. Mehrotra?
I'm here. Please go ahead.
Sir.
The question was how to stop smoking. Is that correct?
No, throughout the country, how do we think we'll be able to really implement no tobacco?
Well, one thing we are doing right now is education. And I really wish that this could be actually brought down to the grassroots, both in the urban and in the rural semi-urban areas. That's probably very important. It cannot come only from the government. You know, it has to be, and I was giving an analogy about COVID and tobacco, how things are common. I personally feel it has to go hand in hand with a community involvement. So I think one of your Rotary governors who were talking earlier talked about involving the community, social mobilization, and that is where groups like the Rotary Alliance and so on have a very important role to play. You know, it's very easy to say the government should do this, but after all, we must realize that who is the government? Government is between all of us only. So number one is awareness. Number two is basically looking at increased taxes. And I know Andhra Pradesh is one of the strongest high tobacco growing states in the country. And we also unfortunately have people in power who are owners of not only BD and cigarette and smokeless tobacco companies, and they make sure that the taxes are always differential. So I talked about why can't we have similar taxes ad valorem, all for every tobacco product. That has been shown to be the best deterrent all over the world. India is among the cheapest tobacco products available anywhere in the world. Lastly, and I'm sure there are many more, but I feel it's important, is that basically when you talk about a girl child, for example, if a girl child comes and tells their father or mother that, look, I will not come near you if you keep on taking tobacco, that is one sure way. Many people have come and told me one sure way of leaving. I'm not saying against boys also, that can also happen. But the moment your kid comes and tells you that you are reeking of tobacco, I don't like it, my school, my friends tell me no, tobacco is bad, that quite often helps. Unfortunately, and the film stars as well as sports people, and I was talking, I know it's not easy and it's far more difficult in reality, that moment you stop seeing their movies and you start boycotting them, and the public says that, okay, we are not going to buy this product because you are going to advertise it. It takes time. We are a country with so much of variety, with so much poverty and illiteracy at the same time, but it is happening. There is a groundswell of people who are saying that we will not support such people who go about advertising death. So these, in my view, are the low-hanging fruits. Of course, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it is already happening. Once we compared there's something called the Global Adult Tobacco Survey. It was done about 10 years ago, and then again about 2 years back. There is a difference of roughly 6%. However, 6% may not look very, very big or very huge, but at the same time, you must realize that 6%, when it talks about a huge 1.3 billion people, of that nearly 1/3 are using tobacco, the numbers are huge. So there is a silver lining, there is still hope, but a lot remains to be done. Thank you.
Yeah. Next question, please. Dr. Aruna has a question. Please go ahead. Dr. Aruna,
Yes,
unmute
sir.
yourself, please.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, so I agree with what sir had told.
Ma'am, introduce yourself, ma'am.
Can you hear?
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm Dr. Aruna, a dental public health professional from Bangalore and also a tobacco cessation specialist.
Wow.
So this is tobacco control is a point of interest of mine also. And being a dental public health professional, had conducted various school dental health programs and raised the awareness about the tobacco. And I've been giving even the, and be smart, do not start. Such things should be instilled in the youth. So if tobacco industry is targeting the youth who would be the future customers, so we need to empower them and enable them with the skills to say no to tobacco.
Yes, sir. I think Ravi Saboli should be able to answer this.
Sir, this is in line with how the current WHO theme, like how tobacco industry targets youth. And as one of the speaker had told, the smoking has come down, but alternate tobacco products like ENDS, electronic cigarettes and all had been, were used among the youth more. But congratulations to the Tobacco Control Lobby of India, wherein the ENDS sale and prohibition was introduced from September 2019 onwards. So it is no more sold, but still they are available. And whether the smoking leads to e-cigarettes or e-cigarettes would lead to continuation of the smoking or the dual habits. So these are the few of the challenging things and the heated tobacco products. So various new products are coming which are made attracted to the, specifically designed to attract the youth. So on this perspective, like as a healthcare practitioner and involving all the stakeholders, like how to involve even the Rotarians also on this perspective, like so few insights from your side.
Yes, Runa, yeah, you are absolutely correct. The tobacco industry, when they saw, especially in the West, when the combustible products, that is cigarettes, which are the majority of tobacco that is consumed in the West, then they moved to newer technologies like the electronics cigarettes or vaping. They move now. There's a new companies, something called the heat not burn, which they say we're actually just heating the tobacco. There's so many varieties just to get new
Juul, IQOS, and like.
So
fortunately,
the latest figures coming out of, and in the US, especially with the company called Juul, they were nearly 50 to 70% market share. That is owned partly by Philip Morris, which is again one of the bigger American giants in tobacco. There's some individuals, especially youngsters, were having serious lung problems, which is known as E-Valley. There were lung diseases that were coming up, and a few kids died also. But that happened mainly in the US. But and they say it is probably due to adulteration. And a lot of people, especially in the social media, who keep on writing, some of them told many of us as well. And they said, well, if it can happen in the US, what do you think is going to happen in India? I mean, if you go to many parts of India, you'll probably get duplicate e-fluids, and a variety of other issues came up. And that, again, in the US especially, we're talking about acting as a gateway. And the advocates of e-cigarettes, they talk about the fact that then e-cigarettes, people who are moving from smoking to e-cigarettes actually is a harm reduction. And that way they can leave smoking. That may or may not be true for certain individuals. For a small percentage, it's probably true. But the problem is that, first of all, we don't know how many actually left and how many were actually using both. So they would use e-cigarettes where they were allowed and smoking when they were allowed. And at the end of the day, how many were actually keeping away from tobacco at the long run. So especially in the UK, there is a very strong proponent of e-cigarettes, but even in the US, very recent figures from 2020, June and July, they actually show the number of youngsters who are taking e-cigarettes where it is officially available has actually gone down dramatically. So I personally feel for a developing country like India, where things are always in a state of flux, the e-cigarettes are expensive when they were available. And I feel it may die a natural death, but we have to be careful that we don't allow any of the newer things coming in. We already have too much of a problem. And our problem, again and again, I'm sorry to repeat myself, because it cannot be overemphasized. Our problem is basically smokeless. Yes. The Gutka kings and the Gutka queens that you see all over the country, they are a very, very powerful lobby, and they are ready to do anything to make sure that their product actually sells. And I talked about surrogate advertising. So my question is, sooner or later, our own population has to become more mature to get out of the trap that the tobacco companies, the various forms, want to get us in. There's been a lot of research on smoking. Unfortunately, the same kind of research and same steps, same bans. Like, for example, we got graphic warnings first on cigarette packets. Now, of course, since last year, they are there on BDs as well as smokeless tobacco. So one very small, in addition, somebody was asking me what can be done. We can have a minimum packing, for example, 100 grams, rather than having 10 grams and 20 grams, which is available for 1 rupee or 2 rupee. And somebody talked about single sticks being sold maximally, yes, but there are many states actually ban the sale of single stick cigarettes. However, we all know for practical purposes it's available very freely. So these are some of the methods which, if the government wants to, they can do. But more importantly, if the consumer actually says that we don't want to take it, we don't want to buy a 10-gram packet, and then that way we will be able to really make a dent where we should. I hope that answers your question, Dr. Aruna.
Yes,
I'm sure you know all the question of just emphasizing it once again. Thank you so
Sir,
much.
the pictorial health warnings and offering help to quit through the helpline numbers, the quit line numbers. So like these are the very good initiatives like been taken by the government, offering
Again,
help to the
helpline is still can be used much more. Initially, there was only one in Delhi. Now they have in 4 different parts of the country so that the local language can be used. However, these helplines are not very effective as far as smokeless is concerned. And that is what the real problem is. It is our problem, and nobody else in the world will come and help us. We have to help ourselves. So that is why it is a call to action for like-minded individuals who will think of innovative ways. And the best way I still feel is what we are doing today. Unfortunately, I wish we had more youngsters with us. Hopefully, whoever is listening can act as an ambassador for this group and go and talk to youngsters in their family, in their neighborhood, in their societies. You see that there's, for example, many auto or truck drivers, nearly all of them are addicted to tobacco, especially smokeless tobacco. They cannot drive. Boring jobs, like people who are working on machinery, people who are acting as chowkidars or domestic help. It's the same problem everywhere. So as they say, charity starts at home. So if we, each of us say that we will make sure that at least 5 people can leave tobacco and we'll make sure those people act as an ambassador. So it will be like a domino effect, and hopefully that should work.
And smokeless tobacco is more culturally acceptable and like they consider more safer than the smoking forms. Like that perception has to be denormalized.
Definitely harmful, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is more harmful, in fact, like than the smoking form. Like.
Okay. Yes,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Chaturvedi, you have a question, I think.
I would request Dr. Aruna to register. Please give our mobile number and also email ID, so it will be able to be in touch with you. Dr. Mehrotra, before I come back, I have a question. Before that, I understand Dr. Nalini is around. We have got some question. Dr. Nalini Vemuri. Dr. Nalini, please. Okay. Dr. Saab, I have a very can you hear me? Ravi sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now, recently I went to my Director of Medical Services and then Commissioner, I gave a letter requesting them to give me money for a school education program, school awareness program. Government of India under National Tobacco Eradication Program is allotting funds. But the message I got from the IAS lady is that there is a provision that NGOs should be encouraged. I run an NGO. But she says whether money can be given to NGOs, there is no clause that money can be given to NGOs to do this awareness program. Since your word is listened very much by the Government of India, kindly see that particular provision is made so that NGOs are the people, sir, who will be able to really do a lot of work. So if NGOs are patronized but not given money, how will they run? They have a provision of giving 10,000 rupees per school to be given awareness about.
I agree. To give you an analogy, in the AIDS control program,
sir,
the NGOs were the one who actually did the maximum amount of work. And I also am aware of the role which Rotary and a couple of other voluntary organizations overseas played in the role in the eradication of polio. So in principle, I don't think I'm going to disagree with you. Of course, we have to see whether they reach the right person or not. So we keep talking about, Aruna talks about public-private partnership. Unfortunately, most of the time, this is reality is that is more in the name than in practice. But we are hoping things will change. Let us see how COVID makes a difference in the way we go further.
Sir.
But I agree with you, and I understand what you are saying, and I empathize with you, Dr. Chaturvedi, as well.
Thank you so much, sir. Also tell us how the bad combination of tobacco and COVID is affecting people now.
Well, I think there is ample amount of work now that has come in. You might remember there was a bit of a scare about 3 months ago in which they talked about how COVID is actually, I mean, nicotine is helpful for curing COVID and people who are smokers do not get the infection.
Oh my God.
When they went back and did a far bigger study, they found that nicotine may or may not be, but all the other stuff that is associated with smoking, which of course, nicotine is only small, there are about more than 100 odd chemicals and most of them are dangerous. So the severity of the infection was far more severe in smokers or tobacco users as compared to non-tobacco users. Number two, we found that people who are using smokeless tobacco, especially in India, we found that they are spitting because of the areca nut that is contained in the most of the smokeless tobacco, and they're spitting everywhere in the country. I mean, we have the proud, or should I say shameful, epithet of being the dirtiest country in the world because people keep on spitting everywhere after eating gutka and pan masala, and that could be causing spread of COVID, and not only COVID, also tuberculosis. I think there's ample amount of work that has shows that tuberculosis causes more deaths even today, in spite of all the COVID scare. The tuberculosis causes more deaths per day, and if we can actually now, because of the mask, and hopefully at least for the short time the gutka was banned, and I mean not only the pan masala was banned and the shops were closed, you're finding the number of new tuberculosis cases will probably go down if we continue the way.
Oh, it's an audition problem.
Okay, not a problem. So my question is, something good is hopefully will come out of COVID. Like, through the masks, you cannot just take off your mask and spit in the
Oh, my friends, please mute your microphone. There is something very important happening. Kindly cooperate.
So my question really was, I'm emphasizing the point. First of all, they have found that smokers, if they do get COVID, they have a higher chances of getting a more severe disease and even succumbing. People who have asthma, who have chronic obstructive lung disease also have a more severe COVID infection. Number two, as far as India and smokeless tobacco is concerned, this is something which could be acting as a very good trigger to actually leave smokeless tobacco and stop spitting. Not only it is unhealthy, it is unhygienic, also it litters and colors our roads and buildings so much. So in addition to when I said everybody should be, somebody written, Dr. Aruna written inadvertent. It is not inadvertent, madam. It is fully in the know. Know when they are going to have pan masala, they are going to spit. Sorry to say that.
Yeah.
So my humble submission is that right now people are scared. So when you're talking to your domestic staff, you're talking to elders in your own family, you're talking to your driver, please make sure that, look, chances of you getting COVID and you dying are much more. Just like when I talk to youngsters, when you are all of 17 or 20 years of age, I don't talk about lung cancer. I don't talk about chronic lung disease. I talk about to a girl that you may get wrinkles on the face. And a very nice picture was shown by Dr. Ravi. It may take time. Secondly, you might have problems in conceiving, so you may become infertile. When I talk to boys, I talk about again that your complexion, but more important than complexion, you might have erectile problems during sex. And these are the kind of things which actually make a difference to boys and to girls also. And it is not cool anymore. So there is a sticker which I'm sure you might have seen. It is uncool to kiss a smoker, right? Or to a tobacco user. These are the kind of messaging which youngsters listen to. When the cigarette companies write that tobacco kills, and they have these horrifying pictures of oral cancer, they cannot relate to that. What youngsters do relate to is something that they are right now in the midst of. Suppose the friend of the opposite sex tells you that I'm not going to become your friend because you are using tobacco. That will make a difference. Or when the boy is saying that he might have problems in siring children, that is where they have the problem. So my humble request to all of, yes, I think bad breath is again a very serious issue. I fully agree with you. Who wants to kiss somebody or go anywhere near somebody also who has bad breath, right? So these are, I mean, in a lighter vein, but this is what I normally talk when I go to the kids. And there are various cartoon characters which they can identify with. Even children read the Chacha Chaudhary or all the comic book heroes, and they understand what we are talking about. So rather than talking down to youngsters, we have to talk to the youngsters and make them talk. Because if they are talking and they are talking with any seriousness, and this is not a Miss World or a Miss India competition, then when they get involved, when they act as ambassadors, when they act as representatives, and they listen to each other. That is what I would suggest we do, sir.
Thank you, sir. We'll only take another 5 minutes. Kindly be patient. I have a great news. There are, this is going live stream. I'm sure all of you know. 2 Facebook pages, one, YouTube and also Twitter. On 2 Facebook pages, one of Rotary 3150, there are 1,200 likes. And on Swasthava, there are 1,100 likes. So it is a fantastic program. We're extremely thankful. The entire world has got the facility of having only one son. But we have 2 sons here. One Dr. Ravi, another Dr. Ravi. We are extremely grateful to you, sir. We have a small ordeal of closing the meeting. I would now request Mr. Ramkrishna Vemuri, President of RCC Cantonment. Acha, is Dr. Ravi Vadlamani there? Dr. Ravi Vadlamani? Okay. Mr. Ramkrishna Vemuri is the President of RC Cantonment Secunderabad. He is going to propose vote of thanks. Please, sir. The floor is open to you. Arey, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Well, before we go into the vote of thanks, Dr. Chaturvedi,
sir,
can I make a small request? I have been a Rotarian also, so I know how the system works by and large. Many years ago. Can you make this program getting different people, of course, no point repeating somebody,
sir,
on a regular basis of every 3 to 4 months, so that does not become repetitive and also doesn't tax you, and
yes,
get different groups of people.
Sir, please
you
be
can get the
1 minute.
or scouts or whichever you want as a body, and they are quite widespread, and have it in the daytime or something where, the youngsters can actually be attending much more rather than at this time of the evening. So this would be my suggestion. I don't know how practical it is, but if you can do that, that might be very useful.
Doctor, just to add to that, Dr. Chaturvedi is anyway doing it. At a time of 600 to 800 cadets, especially NCC, they are being addressed, I think, now once in 6 months. Forget this COVID period, otherwise it's a regular exercise that we do.
Thank you so much, sir. We will take your advice and make it once in 3 months, as you rightly said, so that, things can happen. And then Dr. Sonu Goyal could not participate because just now he rang up because he had some urgent work. He missed it. He asked me, is it open now? I'll take another 5 minutes to join. I said, sir, it is closing. Thank you so much. We'll have next time. We're only sorry for that. Now, Ramkrishna Saab, please go ahead.
Yeah. Namaste to the distinguished assembly of the evening. I'm very happy to propose a very vote of thanks. On this evening, we have 3 eminent speakers. Those who have been invited by Dr. Chaturvedi. Of course, one could not join for some urgent reasons. Nevertheless, we have had wonderful messages by both the eminent people here. The message is loud and clear. Always say no to tobacco. So that is the only way, and help near and dear to quit smoking. So each one in Rotary, we have a very bounden duty to take up this role. on everyday basis. So even our PDG, Ravi Vatlamani was mentioning, that we should have posters at every meeting. And we have got to do this through quitting this smoking only by campaigning. That is the only way. That is the message loud and clear. So thank you, Dr. Chaturvedi, the district chair for cancer awareness, for giving an opportunity to RCCS also to join on this occasion to co-host. And I thank DG Prabhakar, who had given a wonderful message, and also the DG NV Hanumanth Garu, who has also mentioned that 3150 shall be a no smoking, no tobacco district all the time. And since 2001, even this district has had this distinction, as Dr. Ravi Vatlamani has also mentioned. And thank you, Dr. Ravi Kumar Garu, the oncologist and Rotarian from the same RC of Rotary Club of Pearls, and Dr. Ravi Mehrotra, the CEO, ICMR. Both of you have given wonderful messages and spent a good amount of time with us. Thank you for your valuable time. And thank you, DRR Sindhura, and thank you, President Hyderabad Pearl Sucharita, and DG nominee Rajeshekar Reddy Garu, and AG Vijay Durga Garu, and Dr. Rotarian Dr. Aruna, Rotarian Vinila Siddhineni, and Rotarians from various clubs. Then we have Rotarian DRCC Ravindra, and we have Nishtala Mohan, the cancer awareness chair for the Twin Cities. And so thank you all. And if I missed anyone, I'm sorry. But the great education we have had today, and we have been able to reach so many people on the Facebook. So many Rotractors have joined. Thank you all for listening to the wonderful messages. And our role is mainly to promote this. That is our action plan. After this meeting, the action plan shall be that we have got to promote this in our regular meetings and interactions with various people wherever we have an opportunity to do so. And there are possibilities, that you get cancer, through various other means, even though one is not a smoker. I have seen my own father, my own father-in-law, both have had cancer, and both are both are teetotalers. So there are certain other ingredients which will act. Nevertheless, tobacco definitely drives this, so we have got to say no 100%. And personally, I feel yoga is one message which will yoga in the means of pranayama, asana, and all these things will help greatly in saying ourselves no to tobacco. That's what we can promote in these edicts. So that is one message I have got. And even similarly, like maybe chewing something like cloves, something like the fenugreek seeds, and like that. There are certain ways. These are all one has to figure it out, and these things will have some help. So that is the action plan. We have got to promote this on a regular basis. And thank you all once again.
Thank you so much, sir. I cherish the patronage of Dr. Ravi Mehrotra and Ravi Kumar. I would request them to kindly extend the same facility whenever we have a meeting. And all audience, please remember, there's my saying, cancer cures smoking. Okay? So there is only one cure for smoking, that is cancer, nothing else. I now request our President Rotarian Sucharita to please call the adjourn the meeting.
Sucharita ma'am. before you say conclusion, I just wanted to say one in a lighter vein. In our college days, there used to be a message that, when somebody is smoking, there is a fire at one end and there's a fool at the other end. How true it is. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, sir. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you so much. Very kind of you.
Yes, sir.
It has been a great evening. Everyone, including audience, I'm extremely thankful to you for the cooperation extended. And we are going to have many more meetings like this. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi Kumar, sir. He's an honorary club member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You're extremely lucky to have such a great person amongst you.
Of course, sir. He's our pride. Yes.
Yeah, in fact, he's our prestige too.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. See, I had happened to, go to M&J Cancer Hospital, when my father-in-law was getting treated. And, one thing that came up in my mind those days, if somebody is smoking, you can easily stop him smoking only by just telling him, come with me and take him through the corridors of that hospital. I am sure, he will, anybody would not dare to do that, act once again. That's how I felt those days.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What, Dr. Ravi Kumar showed, through photographs, if somebody sees, physically in person, it's really amazing. It will have a tremendous impact.
Yes. Yep. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anil.
Yeah, I forgot to thank Anil, he has been a very wonderful technical support all the time. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Anil.
And we should congratulate all the Rotaractors who has taken oath today, this evening.
Yeah.
That they are going to say no to tobacco and they are going to spread this word in the community. Yes. Okay, sir. I'm leaving now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.